Today, I want to talk about Jupiter stationing direct in Cancer on Tuesday, the 10th. But to be very honest, this episode isn't really about prediction. It is a different type of episode. It's about seasons, about learning to let people go with grace and dignity, about recognizing when something has completed its cycle in your life and not fighting with fall to become spring. The type of astrology that I practice is called tropical astrology. And this means that the way I look at planetary alignments is oriented to the four major turning points of the year, our four seasons. And these seasons feel kind of like the melody in the song, but to astrology. It is that chorus that just keeps repeating in the background, and the planets keep moving around, and we keep having these seasons, these solstices, the equinoxes, and they just occur over and over again. And each season contains three signs within it. So winter holds Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Spring holds Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Summer carries Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And fall contains Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Now, of course, depending on the hemisphere, this can be reversed. When you look at the actual zodiac, the whole thing is based on it being geocentric. So it's all about the Earth being at the center. There's this 360-degree circle that gets projected out, and then it's divided into these 12 segments we call the zodiac. This is why we have 12 signs. This is why we have 12 months. And this is why there are 4 quadrants in a chart that are broken up by equinoxes and solstices. And something that I think is so relevant to Jupiter stationing direct and this energy of her no longer being moved in reverse to moving forward is about this relationship to seasons. And the seasons are always about the relationship to light. An equinox brings equal light and dark. Solstices give us the longest day and the longest night of the year. And these 4 turning points are rhythms we see on physical Earth, but they're rhythms that happen inside you too. And there's one thing to know about seasons is that they do not stop. There is no final season. There is no ending as we think of it. Fall leads to winter. Winter leads to spring. Spring leads to summer, and summer leads back to fall again. Round and round and round and go. We go physically, but round and round we go spiritually, emotionally, mentally, inside of ourselves. And when we learned how to harness the physical seasons in the physical world, it changed everything for the world, right? Learning to heat your home during winter, learning to cool it during summer, learning how to not argue with the seasons, but to survive them or to move through them is what made them bearable and also in many ways enjoyable. I energetically have been seeing people fighting seasons lately. There is this myth inside the collective of a perpetual spring that people are supposed to just find this place of renewal and growth and stay ever bloomed forevermore as if that was the way to be. And it is fascinating because different people idolize different types of seasons. So some people worship the season of fall and the harvest, and some people worship, that kind of productivity of feeling of gathering fruits and of labor paying off. And others worship summer and the idea of sociability and being vibrant and being seen, of being heard, of being on stage. And others worship spring, which is like this endless healing and transformation and breakdown and revival over and over. And some worship winter, where they just pull everything in and they're in solitude and meditation and hibernation. And this is where people could get stuck in a season because they don't understand. Whenever you idolize a season, you freeze it. You try to stop nature from turning, but nature will turn. A season will evolve. It will move. And now with Jupiter, stationing direct, this is what I mean, is that from our perspective on Earth, Jupiter was moving one way and now she turns. Jupiter never stops. In reality, Jupiter isn't even moving backwards. It's just how it looks from Earth. Jupiter has always been moving through her seasons. She spends about 8 years moving direct, according to us, and 4 months appearing retrograde. But in the end, she's always moving forward. In the end, she never moved away from her seasons. And her retrograde and direct is a different type of movement. It's a different type of cycle. It's about a perspective. And it brings up this interesting question. In a circle, how could we even know which way is forward and which way is back? I mean, I guess we use clocks as a lot of ways that we do this. We say something moves clockwise. We say something moves counterclockwise. One is the right direction. One is the opposite direction. But this could be reversed. There's no reason it couldn't. Some countries drive on the opposite side of the road and things are working just fine for them. Direction is contextual. Orbit is constant. And that's what I wanted to stress this week. The planets are always moving. They've always been going through their seasons. It was always about rhythm. And Jupiter stationing direct in Cancer is bringing the attention back to something very human, emotional seasons, that emotions have a season, that there's a season for all the things with your home, with where you belong, with how you care for people, with how you let people care for you. And Cancer deeply ties to how you emotionally show up. And perhaps you are being asked to switch seasons, being asked to be aware that maybe the emotions and the way that you process needs to either be more protective or less protective. There needs to be a sowing of new emotional bonds or a releasing of them. Sometimes this protection energy of Cancer can quickly turn into projection. Sometimes care can be a way of controlling. And this retrograde is what is asking to change. It's saying there's something to look at here. There's something about the emotional way of relating that you have to maybe release or allow the grace to let a season end and a new one begin, to not hold yourself in such a steady position as if everything should always be in bloom. There is a truth about a discomfort in these shifts of relationships changing, roles evolving, chapters in life completing. The mind sometimes tries to attach meaning to things completing, as if one person chose it and the other one didn't, or if there had to be struggle or one person closed the book. But sometimes things just move to a new season. They're not in fight with anything. They're just moving to a new season. And it's all about perspective. Expecting everything to be eternal forevermore without moving through seasons is insane. Even the eternal moves through seasons. It's just that they have a way of relating to seasons so differently without holding on to them, with trusting that winter can come and spring will eventually be around the corner. Cancer has a tendency to hang on to things longer than serves them. And that's why I bring this up as Jupiter is moving from retrograde to direct. What might you be hanging on to emotionally that no longer serves you? Is it a person? Is it an identity? Is it a place? Are you allowing yourself to move through different parts of life at different speeds? Are you inviting yourself to be subtle and to notice when seasons are changing? Or does it feel like one day you're in spring and then the next day you're in summer, or one day you're in summer and then you skip a season and end up in winter? Because the emotional seasons are ever present inside you, and they have an energy that makes you aware if you look for it. You can feel the seasons change emotionally in relationships, the same as you can feel how fall breeze or the leaves crunch under your feet. And fall is not a failure of summer. Winter has never been a mistake. It's just that each season holds a different form of dignity and a different form of purpose. So this week, I wanted to bring you into your chart to see where Jupiter is stationing direct. See where maybe she's asking you to be aware of your seasons and potentially release something from your field. If you do the prompt below, you can get your natal chart navigator for free, upload it into AI along with the prompt to explore this. I hope that it brings you some inner awareness around this change in direction, about your relationship to the emotional seasons that occur with your relationship with others and the relationship you have with yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to subscribe and join me as I do this energy work every week using astrology, please go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.